The asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs also triggered a chain reaction in space that sent the moon hurtling toward Earth. Now it's coming straight for us. What happens when two celestial bodies collide? The answer is not pretty. We'll tell you what would happen if the moon crashed into the Earth right now. The idea of an apocalypse isn't new to humans. Throughout history, we've imagined how the end of the world might go. Religious texts often feature divine retribution as the cause of the end of the world. In 2012, many believed the Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world. And then there are conspiracy theories like the one claiming the global elites will destroy the world to make way for a new world order. But sometimes the real world gives Hollywood a run for its money. The asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs is a prime example. It's believed that 66 million years ago, our planet collided with an asteroid or comet about 6 miles wide. Its impact triggered earthquakes, tsunamis, and destroyed entire ecosystems. It's thought that dust from the impact blocked so much sunlight that it caused an ice age. No more dinosaurs. So what if something similar were to happen today? What would happen if an asteroid slammed into the Earth and knocked the moon out of orbit, sending it hurtling toward us at 25,000 miles per hour? First things first, let's address the elephant in the room. The moon isn't going to crash into the Earth anytime soon. NASA keeps a close eye on near-Earth objects, asteroids that could potentially collide with our planet. There are currently no asteroids on a collision course with the Earth. Even if there was, we'd have plenty of warning. If an asteroid the size of the one that killed the dinosaurs were hurtling toward us, we'd see it long before it reached us. It would be visible from almost anywhere on the Earth. But, hypothetically speaking, what if an asteroid did slam into the Earth and knock the moon out of orbit and toward us? Let's break down this doomsday scenario and imagine how such a collision might play out. In 1969, 4 astronauts aboard the Apollo 11 spacecraft became the first humans to walk on the moon. They were able to accomplish this because the moon is relatively close to the Earth compared to other planets. At its closest point, the moon is about 347 miles from the surface of the Earth. At its farthest, it's about 4,050 miles away. On average, the moon is about 3,874 miles from the Earth's center. That's much closer than Mercury, which has an average distance of 36 million miles from the sun. If the asteroid that hit the Earth had a gravitational pull as strong as the moon's, it would have kept the moon in orbit around the Earth. But scientists believe the asteroid that caused the mass extinction event was only about 6 miles wide. It's possible the impact knocked the moon out of its orbit, but it couldn't keep it from crashing into the Earth. So how big is the moon compared to the Earth? It's actually much smaller. The diameter of the moon is about 2,159 miles, while the diameter of the Earth is about 70,918 miles. The Earth is 3 times larger than the moon. When the moon is at its closest point to the Earth, it appears as if it's the same size as the sun. This is an optical illusion caused by its proximity to the Earth. If the moon were at the same distance from the Earth as the sun, it would appear 33 times smaller in the sky. Let's say the asteroid that knocked the moon out of orbit didn't destroy it completely. What if some part of it remained intact and hurtled toward the Earth? What would happen if the moon crashed into the Earth? First, we'd have some warning. When the moon got close enough to the Earth, its gravity would begin pulling up water from the oceans, creating giant tsunami waves that would roll across the planet. These waves would reach heights of up to 100 feet and would travel thousands of miles inland. People would have time to seek higher ground, although why they would want to is anyone's guess. When the moon eventually crashed into the Earth, the impact would cause massive earthquakes. These quakes would likely register between 9 and 10 on the Richter scale and would shake the planet from pole to pole. Entire cities would be leveled. As the moon and the Earth collided, their combined heat and pressure would melt rock and soil, creating massive new mountains. Some scientists believe that if the moon were to collide with the Earth, the resulting mountain chains would reach heights of up to 1,000 feet. If life somehow still existed on the Earth's surface after the impact, the survivors would be met with another disaster. The moon's gravity had been keeping the Earth's atmosphere in place for billions of years. Without the moon, the atmosphere would thin and the Earth's gravity would weaken. Humans would need to wear special suits just to walk outside. The moon also reflects 7% of the energy it receives from the sun. Without the moon, the Earth would be plunged into darkness. Plants would die, animals would go extinct. Humanity would have to rely on artificial lights to survive. And that's just scratching the surface of what would happen if the moon crashed into the Earth. The moon plays a vital role in stabilizing the Earth's tilt, keeping it in a state of equilibrium. Without the moon, the Earth's tilt would become unstable, causing extreme shifts in climate. One side of the planet would become unbearably hot, while the other would become freezing cold. There's a good chance life as we know it wouldn't be able to survive these conditions. But what if life did find a way? What if humans or some other species managed to survive the initial impact? How long would the moon stay on the Earth's surface? Unfortunately, it wouldn't stay for long. Scientists believe the moon formed about 4.5 billion years ago, shortly after the Earth. For a long time, it was believed the moon formed from debris left over after a Mars-sized object known as Theia smashed into the Earth. The pieces of both planets combined and cooled, eventually forming the moon. If the moon were to crash into the Earth today, it would look nothing like it does now. It would be a molten blob of rock and dust. Eventually, the moon's gravity would start pulling itself apart. Over time, it would form a ring around the Earth. Similar to the rings of Saturn, pieces of the moon would eventually fall back to the Earth, burning up in the atmosphere. Others would remain in orbit, eventually becoming part of the Earth's crust. We know the moon crashing into the Earth would have disastrous consequences for life as we know it. But there is some good news. If a large asteroid were to slam into the Earth, giving the moon the momentum to crash into us, it would also most likely destroy the planet. So chances are we wouldn't be around to see it. As much as humans love to speculate about the end of the world, we should take comfort in knowing that the planet has survived far worse than an asteroid or two. About 300 million years ago, Earth experienced a mass extinction event that wiped out 70% of all land animals and 90% of marine species. Life somehow managed to make it through that. So even if the moon were to crash into the Earth, there's always hope that life would find a way to bounce back. Right now, the moon is drifting away from the Earth by about 1 2 inches per year. That may sound like a lot, but it's really not. In 50 billion years, the moon will drift so far away the Earth's gravity won't be able to hold it in orbit anymore. When that happens, the moon will become a free agent, floating aimlessly through the solar system. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs also kicked the moon out of orbit. Maybe it was just trying to give the moon a little nudge to get it on a path to somewhere better. Now watch. What if the Earth had 2 moons? Or check out, is the moon getting farther away? Why?